Texas has no state income tax, and that's the line everybody uses to sell you on moving here. But here's the part that nobody puts in the brochure. I've watched buyers from California go under contract on a house in Lubbock, get their final closing numbers, and on the phone, they go totally quiet. Not because the price changed, because the property tax did something that they weren't expecting. Nobody is lying to you about Texas. They're just not finishing their sentence. So I'm going to finish it for them. In this video, how Lubbock property tax actually works, the 3 school districts, and why the same house costs different money just depending on which one you're in. The exemption most new arrivals don't file and lose thousands over. And the single biggest mistake I see people make when they read a tax estimate online. I sell houses here. I sit through these closings. This is the stuff I end up explaining on the phone at 9 at night. So let's just put it in one single place. Texas funds itself through property tax. No income tax means the money comes from somewhere, and the somewhere is your house. Your bill is built from stacked rates: county, city, school district, hospital district, and a few smaller ones. Each one charges a rate per $100 of your home's assessed value. Once you add them all up, that's your total rate. In Lubbock County, all in, most people land somewhere in the low 2% range, and it can run higher just depending on your exact jurisdiction. Let me translate that out of percentage language because percentages hide things. 2.3% on a $300,000 house is $6,900 a year. That's $575 a month every month, in addition to your mortgage and insurance. Okay, quick pro tip: verify your rate figures at Lubbock CAD, Central Appraisal District.org. You can look at any home's previous tax bills. It's awesome. Put in any address. If you're coming from California, your rate was roughly 1.1%, but your house cost $700K. So you were paying more in total. If you're coming from Washington or Colorado, this is going to feel like a lot. Here's where it gets specific to Lubbock. And also, this is the part I don't see covered really anywhere. We have 3 main districts inside and around the city. So Lubbock ISD inside the city, we've got Lubbock Cooper, and then Frenship. They do not charge the same rate, which basically means 2 houses, same price, same square footage, 4 miles apart, can have monthly payments that differ by real money and not $20. Enough to matter when you're deciding what you can actually afford. So I had a buyer last year comparing 2 houses, $11,000 apart in price, pretty minuscule. The cheaper one was in the higher tax district though. Over the time they planned to own it, the cheaper house was actually the more expensive house. They bought the expensive one. So when somebody sends you 2 listings and says, which is the better deal, the honest answer is you can't know until you check what district the home is in. Okay, this one is free money and people miss it constantly. So listen up. If you buy a house in Texas and it's your primary residence, you can file for a homestead exemption. It knocks a chunk off your assessed value, like $140,000, before they calculate your tax. It caps also how fast your assessed value can climb year over year. It's just a form. It's free. You file it with the appraisal district, and every single year I meet somebody who's owned their home for 2 years and never filed it. There's also a reason a lot of people accidentally don't file it, and it's not laziness. It's that they assume the title company did it. Some do, most don't. I've never seen one do it. It's just not their job. Check yourself. Also worth knowing, over 65 and disabled veteran exemptions in Texas are substantial. I mean, substantial. If that's you or your parents, that changes the math a whole lot. Here's the mistake. And I mean the big one. You're on Zillow, you find the perfect house. There's a monthly payment estimate right there, nice and clean. It includes a number for taxes. That number is frequently wrong for you, and usually very wrong. Two reasons. Number one, it's often based on what the current owner is paying. And the current owner may have had a homestead exemption or an over 65 freeze or a cap that's been suppressing their assessed value for 15 years, or all three of those. You don't inherit that. When you buy, it can reset, and it does reset. Okay, and two, and this is the one that really gets people. In Texas, your assessed value can jump toward market value after a sale. So the house that shows $4,000 a year in taxes can bill you meaningfully more in your second year. And I'm not telling this to you to really scare you off Lubbock. I'm telling you because I've watched people budget off the Zillow number and then get an escrow shortage letter in year two that ruins their month. Like I had one recently, hundreds of dollars. Ask for the actual rate for that specific address. Any agent worth anything can pull it in about 90 seconds. Again, I'll drop the website in the comments. Every spring, the appraisal district tells you what they think your house is worth. And every spring, you can argue with them, and I suggest you do. You can do it yourself. It's free, and the appraisal district publishes the process. Or you can hire a protest company that takes a cut of what they can save you. Is it worth it? Well, if your value jumped a lot, yeah, it is. If you moved a little, probably not worth your Saturday, but I'd say this though, the number of people in Lubbock who have never once protested is really high. And the number who protested and got nothing is lower than you'd think also. Reach out to me if you'd like me to pull comparable homes, or even better, if you just want that someone else to do it, who, by the way, doesn't charge you anything unless he wins for you, aceoftexas.com. So he used to be a tax appraiser here, so he knows the ropes and he knows how to fight your taxes. So is Texas actually a low tax state, or is that just totally myth? Well, it depends entirely on your income, your house, and if you make good money and buy a modest house, Texas really is a fantastic deal. You keep the income tax you'd have paid in California or Oregon, and your property tax bill is totally manageable because your house didn't cost $700,000. Now, if you have a low income and an expensive home, Texas is a worse deal than people tell you because property tax just doesn't care what you earn. For most people moving to Lubbock, and specifically with a median sold price around $253,000, the math works out well. That's not me selling you. That's just what the numbers do at these price points. Now, if you want me to pull the actual all-in tax rate on a specific address before you make an offer, that's a 2-minute thing, and I'll do it happily. Info's in the description, and remember, LubbockCAD.org. You can get all, and I mean all, tax info on any address for free 99. So I'm actually about to publish a video on what $300,000 will get you in Lubbock, Texas. So stay tuned for that because you might be surprised which one I picked. Remember, the school district matters a lot, location matters, and we'll compare old versus new. It's a great video, and it'll really give you an idea of what your money can buy here. But other than that, I will, as always, see you on the next one.